Hey guys, what's up? What's going on? Welcome to my YouTube channel. And in today's video, we are going to build a full blogging application with the help of React and JSON server. So I'm little bit excited today because I don't think you will find a full blogging application with just using JSON server in a React. So let's have a quick look of this application which we are going to build in today's video. So this is our home page in which we are showing a 5 block per page. So you can see that we have a pagination at a below, and if you click on next, you will see the next 5 block. But as of now we have only 9 block in this application, so that's why we are seeing the 4 block on this second page. Okay, and if you click on previous, you will back to the first page, and we have a section called latest post in which we are displaying last 4 latest blog created by user. Okay, and here we have a category section, so you can filter out blog based on the different category. So if I select travel, so we will get only the blog related to travel, and if I select fashion, so we don't have any blog related to this category, so we will get the message no blog found. And if we select sport, we will get that the blog related to sports category. For food we are getting blog, and for tech we are getting blog. So this way also you can filter out the blog based on different category. Now let's add a new blog here. So let's assume I am going to create a fashion blog. So let's give here like fashion blog, and I'm going to paste some description, and I'm going to upload an image. So let's select this image, and you might be wondering how image upload is working with the JSON server. So this is a trick which you will get to know once we start building this project. So now let's select a category. So we can select category fashion here, and let's click on add. We got the message like blog created successfully, and you will not see the blog here, but you can see the blog in the latest post. Okay, because it created at the end. So if you click on next, you will see your newly created blog. So we have saw how to create a blog in this application. Now you can also read more the particular blog. So if you click on read more, you will navigate towards the single blog page in which we have a description about this blog. Okay, and we have also a related post for this blog. Okay, so with the tech category we have one more blog. Okay, you can see that over here got one more post, and from here you can also navigate towards the single page. Okay, so you can see that we are able to navigate towards the single blog page from related post as well. And here we have got the date and the category. Now let's click on go back, and you can delete the blog as well. So if you click on this delete icon, so let's click on this, and if you click OK, the blog will get deleted successfully. Okay, so we got the toast notification as well. Now we can also update the existing blog. So if you click on this edit icon, so we can also update the blog. So in case of updation, image update not allowed, so we can only update the title, description and category. So let's update this title from tech blog to tech blog updated. Okay, now let's click on update. So you can see that this is got updated, and we have got the toast notification as well, like blog updated successfully. So for now we have saw how to add blog, how to delete blog, or how to update a existing blog. Now you can also search the blog. So let's search the blog with the keyword like tech. So you can see that we have got 2 blog with the tech, and if you clear out this one, so you will get back all the blog that we have in our JSON server. And we have a pagination which you have already saw that one, so this is also working. Now we have a about page, so we have just basic information about this application, and if the URL is not matched, so we have got a separate page for that one also. Okay, and whatever the image I am using for this application, so I will provide those resources with the separate GitHub link. So you can check out the description for the GitHub link related to the image resource, and from here also you can navigate towards a single blog. So if you click on from latest post section, in that case also you will navigate towards the single blog page, and we have got here related post as well related to the sports category. So this is the overall application that we are going to build in today's video with the help of JSON server. So I hope you guys are very excited to build this application with me. So before we start building this application, if you haven't subscribed this channel, then please subscribe my channel. And if you find out that video is useful, so you can like the video and you can also share this video with your friend and colleague. So let's start implementing this awesome blog application with the help of React and JSON server. So guys, now I am in this directory and I'm going to open a command prompt here. So let's open a command prompt and I'm going to create a React application using the command npx create React app, and the app name will be like React JSON blog. Okay, so this will be our app name. So let's hit enter and it will take around 2 to 3 minutes to install all the necessary dependency. So I'll be back once all the dependency get installed. So guys, our project setup got completed now. So let's first go into this directory, that is React JSON blog. Okay, so now we are in this directory, and before we do npm start, we need to install some packages. So we are going to work with the React router DOM. So let's install this package, React router DOM. Access we are going to use, then we are going to use React Toastify for displaying the toast notification. Then we need to install mdb React UI kit, because we are also going to work with the material design bootstrap in this project to build our component. So let's install these packages, and meanwhile I have already opened this project in my Visual Studio Code. So let's go into the VS Code. So as you can see that this project is open in my Visual Studio Code. So first let's remove all the unwanted content that we have in our app.js file. So I'm just going to give here one heading like blog. Okay, and let's remove this one first, and we don't need this test file, so let's remove this one as well. And let's remove this logo.svg file as well. Now let's check whether our package got installed or not. So our package got installed. So let's do npm start and wait for the application load into the browser. So our application load into the browser without any issue. So the next thing what we have to do, so first I'm going to set up our JSON server here. So I'm going to create one file in the root, that is db.json file. Okay, and here we are going to have one blogs, because we are going to have our all blog in a array. So let's put as a empty for now this array, because we are going to store all this blog inside this array. Now we have to write one script to start our JSON server. So I am going to paste one script to start this JSON server. So I have just pasted this script to start JSON server. So we have got our Axios, mdb React UI kit, React router DOM and React Toastify. So only these 4 packages required to work on our blog application. Now the next thing what we have to do, so I'm going to create some folder here. So first folder is gonna be components. So our all component will be placed inside this folder, and the second folder we are going to have pages. Okay, so first I'm going to create some file inside this pages folder. So we're gonna have like our home page, so home.js, then we're gonna have our add edit blog page. So we are going to use the same page for adding the new blog or updating the existing blog. The next file we are going to have like blog.js. So we can also view the single blog in a separate page. The other files we're gonna have like not found, so we are also going to show not found message if the URL is not matched. And the other files we are going to have one more like about.js. So it will just contain some basic information about this application. Now the next thing what we have to do, so first I am going to configure our material design bootstrap in this application. So let's go to the official website of the material design bootstrap. So let's click on get started, and what we have to do here, so let's just come down. So first we need to import this CSS file to apply the styling of material bootstrap in our application. So we need to paste this import statement inside this index.js file. Okay, so here we have to paste. Now the next thing what we have to do, so we are also going to use this font awesome icon. So let's just copy this one and let's just paste it here inside this index.html. And we are also going to work with this robo font styling. So let's copy this one as well and let's just paste it here. Okay, and inside this public folder I am going to put my images. Okay, so I am going to bring the images inside this public folder. So I have just pasted our images folder inside this public folder, and you don't have to worry about all these images because I will provide the resource for this video in a separate GitHub link. So you don't need to worry about this all images. So till now we have just completed our basic setup. Now the next thing what I'm going to do, so I'm going to register all this route. So first I'm going to generate a snippet here. So let's just give title for now like about. Now let's generate the snippet here as well using the RAFCE. Let's give the title, add, edit. Let's generate the snippet here as well. So it will be single blog, okay, in which we can view the detail about the specific blog. Now this will be home and the title will be the home. We are going to have not found as well. So let's keep for now not found. Okay, now what we have to do, so let's go to the app.js file, and here we need to bring component from our React router DOM. So we are going to bring here like routes, okay, browser router and route. Let's remove this one. So let's remove this one, and at the top level we are going to have browser router. So let's paste this content here inside this, and now we are going to have our all routes. So we are going to register our all route inside this route. So React router DOM got updated to version 6. So switch is not available in the React router DOM of version 6. So we have to use routes, and inside this route, if you wanted to register a specific route, then you have to register inside this route. So here we are going to provide a path. So first I am going to register our home page, and element we have to provide here, and we are going to register our route like this way. So VS Code automatically import this component, and with routes we don't have to provide the exact keyword. Okay, now let's copy this one the next route we are going to have our add blog. Okay, and for this we are going to use component add edit blog. The third route we are going to have edit blog, and we are going to edit blog based on the id. So here we have to provide the id, and for that also we are going to use the same component to update the existing blog. So now another route like single blog view. Okay, so user can also view the single blog, and that will be also based on the id. So now this time we are going to render the page like blog only. The next route we are going to have simple about page. So for now let's just copy. So it will be about, the route will be about, and we are going to render the about page. Okay, and if URL is not matched, so in that case we are going to show not found page. So let's bring the not found component. Okay, so let's first check whether this all route is working or not. So let's go into the browser and refresh this one. So home is already working. Now let's go to the add blog. So this is also working, and for edit blog, so for edit blog we have to provide id. So this is also working because we are rendering the same component for adding the new blog or updating the existing blog. The other routes we have like about, so this is also working, and we have single blog. So blog dot, so blog slash, you have to provide the id here as well. So this is also working, and if URL is not matched, so let's keep some random URL. So this is also working. So it's look okay. So we have successfully able to register our all route that we have in our pages folder. So the next thing, I'm going to configure the React Toastify in this application. So I'm going to paste two import statement here. So this two import statement is required to configure React Toastify in our application. So let's give a toast container. So that will work. Okay, so we have also configured React Toastify, and let's also start our JSON server as well. So this is our directory where we have created our React project. So let's go inside this folder and let's open one cmd and let's do npm run server. So this is working. Okay, so at the moment we don't have any content to test this one. So now what we are going to do, so the next thing we wanted to basically create a header component so that we can easily navigate in our application. So let's go to the VS Code, and inside this component folder I am going to create a file called header.js. Okay, so let's first generate a snippet here, and for now, so now let's go to the official website of Material Design Bootstrap. So here I am going to use a navigation component. So I am going to use navbar, and I am going to use this navbar. So let's scroll down. So I'm going to copy this code. Okay, up to here. Let's go to the VS Code and let's paste it over here. And we also need to copy the component that required. So we need to bring that component from our MDB React UI kit. So let's copy all this import and let's put it here. And we also need to bring use state. Okay, and here couple of things I need to adjust. So we are going to define one state. So const show set show use state false. Okay, and here it will be set so. Okay, so it will be set so, and we are just toggling here, so it will be show, and here also we have to just put a show. And we are going to create a Blogify application, so I am going to put here our logo for our application here. So here I am going to remove this one, and we are going to navigate towards the home page, so it will be slash only, and here I am going to have my image. So here I can use here image tag, and source I can give here. So our image folder is inside our public folder, so image, and we have a logo.jpg, and alternate we have to provide, so it will be logo only, and we have to give some inline styling here, so it will be like height 30 pixel. Okay, and this and the background color, and we also need to change the background color, so I need to give here like 541b 1b. Okay, and it will be light. Okay, that is fine, and I think that's it. So we need to change other stuff here, so it will be like only slash here because we have to navigate towards the home page. The next route we are going to have like add blog, so here we can specify the route like add blog. Okay, and the next route we are going to have about, so we can specify about, and this will be the about. Okay, and we have to also give some inline styling, so style color I'm going to give here like FFF. Okay, so let's copy this one because we need to use here as well. Let's use here as well, and let's remove this one. I don't need this one, and we also need to add that styling here as well in the navbar toggler. So I think for now we are done with this header component. So let's use this header component inside this app.js file. So inside this app.js file, I'm going to bring our header here. So VS Code will automatically import this component. So let's see whether this header is displaying or not. So you can see that we have got our nice header here, and if you click on add block, we will navigate towards the add edit page. And here you might have noticed like it's get reloading here whenever I click on this header, because with material design bootstrap component you cannot use here to keyword. Okay, so 2 is not working with this mdb navbar link. So if you give 2, let's say if you give 2 here, so it won't work. Okay, you can see that it's not working, so you have to use here href. Okay, there is an alternate way to use 2. So basically you have to bring the nav link from React router DOM, and then you can use here nav link instead of this mdb navbar link. But in that case you will get some warning in your console. So it's up to you. If you wanted to use navbar link from React router DOM, so you can use instead of this mdb navbar link. So it's up to you. So now we are done with this header component in our application. So the next thing, first we are going to work on our add edit blocks. So first I am going to enable operation to add blog. So in order to add blog, first we need to do some configuration in our Cloudinary, because we are going to host our all image in the Cloudinary. then we will get an image link from our Cloudinary. So that image link we are going to store in our JSON server. So let's first configure Cloudinary. So guys, I am in my Cloudinary account. So I hope you have an account on Cloudinary. So what you have to do, so you have to go to your setting. Okay, so you have to click on this setting icon, and you have to click on this upload. Let's scroll down, and here you have to set your upload preset. So what you can do, so just click on this add upload preset, and it will generate some random preset name, and here you have to use unsigned. Okay, and let's click on save. So you can see that our upload preset is created here, and you can just copy this one and you can paste it here in VS Code. So we are done with this basic configuration of Cloudinary. So the next thing, we are going to work on our this add edit blog page. So first we need to bring some component from our material design bootstrap to build a form component. So let's bring those component first. So we need MDB validation. So we are also going to do client-side validation from our end only. MDB input and MDB btn. And the next thing what we have to do, so we are also going to bring use state. Okay, and I also need Axios, so let's bring that one. And we need toast as well from our React Toastify, so let's bring toast. Now let's define our initial state here. So initial state, so we are going to have our title for blog, then we are going to have a description for our blog, then we are going to have category, okay, and image URLs. So from Cloudinary we are going to get image URLs, so we are going to store that URL in a JSON server. Now we are going to have a different category in our drop down, so const options, and we are going to have a category like travel, fashion, then we are going to have category like fitness, sports, then we are going to have like food, then tech. So overall we have a 6 category to create blog. Now here we are going to have form value, so form value set form value use state, and here we are going to pass initial state. Okay, after that we are going to have one error message for category, because for drop down we are not going to use a MDB React component, so we are going to use a normal HTML drop down to create a category drop down. So for that we have to also manage a separate message in case of error, so we are going to handle in a separate state. So set category error message, okay, and this will be null. So now we are going to destructure all this value from our form value. Okay, so we are going to destructure like title, description, category, and image URL. Okay, now let's work on our form component. Okay, so we can remove all this thing, and here we are going to use IMDb validation. Okay, and inside that we are going to give a class name. So here we are using bootstrap class name, and after that we can have some inline style like margin top 100 pixel, and we have to give no validate. So we are passing this no validate props, and we are going to have on submit handle submit. So let's define this function, otherwise we will get error. Okay, so let's define this one. For now we will add the logic later. So inside this we are going to have one p tag, and here we can give like add blog. Okay, and here we can give some class name to style this heading. So fs hyphen 2 f hyphen bold. Okay, so let's first see this one, how it's look like. So let's close this one, it's not required. Let's click on this add blog. So we have got our this heading add blog. Okay, after that we have to work on our all input fields. So div, inside this I'm going to have some styling. So I'm going to paste some styling over here. So this styling I have just pasted over here, and inside this div we are going to have our MDB input. Okay, and we can give here value. So value will be title, then we are going to have like name title, then type will be the text only, then we are going to have our on change method to basically track the state of each input field on each keystroke. So we are going to have one on input change, and then it will be required only. Then we are going to have label, so it will be title, then validation message we have to give. So in case if input field is empty, so we can give a message like please provide a title. Okay, and we have to give this invalid. Now we are going to have break here. Okay, and after that I am going to copy this input field couple of times for other field like description, files and category. So I am going to copy this input couple of times. So let's copy this one, and the second one is a description. So it will be description, name will be description, type will be text, on change will be on input change, it will be required, label will be the description. Okay, and here we can give like please provide a description. Okay, and for description we are going to use a text area. So we can specify a text area, and we can give rows up to 4. Okay, and for file we are not going to use type equal to text, so it will be file. Okay, and in case of file value is not supported, so we have to remove this one. And for this we are not going to work with the on input change. For this we are going to use a separate function, so that will be upload image. So on upload image. So this will be on upload image, and here we can say like e dot target dot files. Okay, now after that we are going to have a drop down. So we are not going to work with the material design bootstrap. For drop down we are going to use a HTML here. So select, I'm going to use here, and here I'm going to use class name. So category. So we need to define this styling in our index.css file. So let's give first class name here. So drop down category drop down, and we are going to have on change, and for this also we are going to handle in a separate method. Okay, so on category change. Okay, and value we are going to have, so value will be the category only. Okay, and inside this we are going to have our first option. So first option will be the default option, like please select category, please select category. Okay, after that we have already defined our options here, you can see that at the top. So we are going to map all this option. So here we can use options dot map. We are going to get single option, and we are going to have a index, and here I'm going to use option, and inside this I'm going to have option, and inside this value will be the option. Okay, or you can also give this empty string in case of populating the existing value. So let's give it now, and key we are going to give here index, otherwise we will get a warning. Okay, and let's provide this empty string for other input field as well. So here also we can give like, so this will basically helpful to populate the existing value on each input field in case of updating the existing blog. So we will use this empty string, and if you don't use, you will get a warning in a console. So we have created this drop down. Now we have to work on our button. So let's give couple of break here. Okay, and here I am going to use mdb btn, and type will be the submit, and I'm going to use some inline styling. So I'm going to give here margin right, and it will be 10 pixel, and here I'm just going to give add, and let's copy one more time because we are going to have one go back button. So it will be go back, and we are going to use here color danger. Okay, and let's remove type submit, we don't need, and here we are going to have our on click method. So basically if you click on go back, so you will navigate towards the home page. So we need to bring navigate from our, so we need to bring use navigate from our React router DOM. So let's bring this one from our React router DOM. So we need to bring use navigate, and first we have to store the reference of use navigate into a navigate variable. Okay, now let's use this navigate variable here. Okay, now we have to define first all this function, okay, that is on input change and on upload image. So let's define this one outside this return, and this will receive an event. So both function will receive an event. So let's pass here event, and on upload image, okay, on upload image, and it will get file here. So let's first check whether we are able to see our form component or not. So let's go into the browser. So on category change also we have to define. So const on category change, let's define this one as well. Let's go into the browser, refresh this one. Okay, so in case of input type file, we don't need to provide the name. Okay, so let's get rid of this one as well, and label also we don't need to provide. So let's get rid of this one as well. Now let's go into the browser. So our form looks fine here. Now we have to little bit work on this drop down category, okay, because we are using our plain HTML drop down here. So I have added the class name here. You can see that category drop down. So we are going to use index.css file here to apply our styling, and here I am going to paste some styling. So I have just pasted some CSS code for this class name. Now let's go into the browser. So now you can see that our category drop down, it almost look like material design component only. So I have just tried my best to make equivalent to the material design bootstrap component. So our form is completed over here. So the next thing, we have to basically add the block. So before we perform this adding block, so first let's work on this file, okay. So let's go to the add edit block.js, and first let's go to the on upload image, okay, and here we are receiving file. So let's first console log, okay, so put a console log over here, file, okay. This is little bit challenging, so let's first go to the console and let's open our console. So I'm going to put this console side only, and here I'm going to upload one image. So let's upload any image. So now you can see that we have got our file here, okay, and it's contained in a single array of object. So we can do something like this. So it will be always a single array of object, so we can pass like this, okay. Now let's go into the browser, refresh it, upload this one, again this image. So now you can see that we have got one object here which contain name, size, okay, type, okay, all this thing contain. So first I'm going to work on this on upload image function. So here I'm going to basically create a like const form data equal to new form data. So form data basically construct a set of key value pair representing a form field. So here basically we are creating a key value pair for our form field so that we can interact with our Cloudinary API, because we are going to host our all image on Cloudinary. So we have to make a API request, and form data is basically we can easily make a HTTP request. So with the help of form data, we can make a API request and we can upload our image on Cloudinary. So that's why we are using here form data. Now after that we have to basically append. So form data dot append, and here we have to give key and value, okay. So this will be value form data dot append, and here we have to define our upload preset. So key will be upload preset, and here we have to pass our upload preset value. So we have already copied this upload preset during the configuration of Cloudinary. So let's paste it over here. Now we have to make a HTTP request. So we are going to use access dot post, and we are going to make a API request with our Cloudinary. So HTTP API dot Cloudinary dot com version 1_1, and here we have to write db 9 EA QTCT. So if you are wondering what is this, so if you are wondering what is this, so this is the API key. So once you create an account on Cloudinary, so you will get your API key. So let's go to the Cloudinary, and so now I am in my dashboard, and here you can see that I have cloud name. So I have used this cloud name. Okay, so once you create the account, you will get your own cloud name. So don't use this cloud name, because I am going to change this cloud name after uploading this video. So it won't work with this cloud name. So I have just copied this one, and let's paste it here so I don't make any mistake. So now after that we have to give image upload. After this, the URL will be the image hyphen upload, and here we can pass our form data. Now we will get our response. So we are going to resolve in a then method. Okay, and so let's first put here console. So console.log response so it will be response. So let's put here response, short form of response. So first let's upload one image. So we are going to check what we are getting from our response. So refresh this one. Let's upload this image. So here we got response. Okay, and in data you can see that we got our URL. Okay, so if you copy this URL and let's paste it here, so now you can see that with this URL we got our image that we have uploaded. So we are going to store this image URL link in our JSON server. So that's the reason I have used Cloudinary for this project, because in JSON server you cannot upload a image directly. So this is the reason I am using Cloudinary for this application. So the next thing what we have to do, so let's close this one. Let's go to the VS Code. So we can remove this console log. So first we can give some kind of information to user whether image got uploaded or not. So toast.info, and after that we can give like image uploaded successfully. Okay, and after this what we have to do, so we are going to set our form value. So I am going to spread out our all form value, and I just need to update the image URL. So image URL, and how we can get this image URL, so we have to go to this response dot data dot URL. Okay, so we have to do something like this over here. So response dot data dot URL. Okay, and let's handle the catch as well. So if we got any kind of error, so let's show some kind of notification like toast.error, and we can give our own message like something went wrong. Okay, so upload image done. Now let's work on this on input change. So we are receiving the event, and first let destructure name and value from e.target. So name, value, and after that set form value, and I'm going to spread out form value, and here it will be like name and value. Okay, and let's also work on this on category change. So this on category change will also receive a event, so e, and after that set form value, and it will be like form value, and here we are just concerned about our category field. So category e dot target dot value. So let's go into the browser. Let's close this one, and let's see whether we are able to type anything or not into each input field. So we are able to type upload, already we saw, and let's select category. So we are also able to select this category. So after that we are going to work on our handle submit. So in handle submit, first let's do like e dot prevent default. So here basically we are preventing the default behavior of browser on form submission. So if you submit the form empty, so if you just click on it without providing the value into each input field, so we will get an error message. And for this category we will not get an error message because we are not using the material design component. So we are going to provide our own message here. So for that we have already defined the state, you can see that over here. So after that what we have to do, so in handle submit, first we can check here like if you don't have category, okay, then we can set the category message, and the message will be like please select a category. Okay, and the moment user select the category from the drop down, then I am going to set this category to null. So let's do that here only. So set category error message to null, and let's display this error message below this select. Okay, so after this select, what we have to do, so we are going to first check if you have the category error message, then we are going to display that one. And here I am using one class name here, so that will be like category error message. Okay, so this class name I'm going to use with div, and here I'm going to show category error message, and I'm going to paste the styling for this category error message inside this index.css file. So here I'm going to have my category error message class name, and I'm going to paste the CSS code for this class. Okay, so this styling I'm going to apply for the category error message. So let's go into the browser. Now let's click on add. So now you can see that we have got the error message for category dropdown as well, and the moment you select a category it will disappear, and the same thing will goes for every other input field. and I am not uploading the image for this file because it will again upload an image on Cloudinary, so I am not going to upload an unnecessary image, so leave it there. So now we are going to add our blog in JSON server, so we have to work on this handle submit. So let's go to the add edit blog.js file, and inside this handle submit, where we have our handle submit, so here we have our handle submit. So inside this handle submit, first I am going to check if you have the title, if you have the description, if you got the image URL from our Cloudinary, and if you select the category, then only you are allowed to create a blog. So this is our first check. After that, we are also going to show a date. Okay, so while creating a blog, so we need a date as well. So const current date is equal to get date. So we have to define this date. So we have to define this get date function, which is responsible for getting the current date at the time of creating the blog. So const get date, and here I am just going to paste some code. Okay, so I am just pasting a code over here. So this code is required to get the current date at the time of creating the new blog. So here we got our current date. Now after that, what we have to do, so our form field, so we need to update our form value with this current date. So const updated blog data equal to object, and I am going to spread out our all form value like title, description, image URL, and category, and I am going to add one more property, that is date, and here I am going to pass here current date. After that, const, so this handle submit will be async because we are going to deal with the API here. So const response is equal to await access dot post. So it will be post request because we are adding a new blog. So http localhost, and our JSON server is running on 5000, so it will be 5000, and we have already defined this blogs. You can see that in our db.json file. So our all blog is going to stored inside this blocks array, and after that we are going to pass this updated blog data. Now we will get a response. Okay, so if response dot status is equal to 2 not 1, so while making a post request we always get a 2 not 1 status from our JSON server. So that's why I am checking here 2 not 1 status. So if we get this status, then we have to show success message like blog is created successfully. So toast.success, you can give here like blog created successfully. Okay, and in case if you have some kind of error, so we can give message like toast dot error, and message will be like something went wrong. Okay, and after this what we are going to do, so after that we are going to basically clear out each input field. So we can do like set form value, and so the title will get empty, the title input field, description will get empty. Okay, and category will get empty. and let's also empty the image URL. Obviously you will not see this image URL in the UI, so let's empty this one as well. So after submitting the blog, we wanted to navigate towards the home page, so we can use this navigate. Okay, so we are done with the logic of adding a new blog. So let's go into the browser and create our first blog. So I wanted to create a food blog, so food blog, so we can give a title like food blog. So I'm just going to paste some lorem ipsum content in the description, and so let's just paste here. Let's select one file here. So I'm creating a food blog, so let's select this image. So we got here message like image uploaded successfully. We got this information from our Cloudinary, and this is a food blog. So let's select the category food here, and let's click on add. So we got the message like blog created successfully. So let's verify this one in our db.json file. So let's go to db.json file, and here you can see that we have got our title, description, category, image URL, date and ID. So we have successfully created our first blog in this application. So now we are going to display this blog in our home page. Okay, so all the blogs we are going to display on this home page only. So let's create one blogs component in which we are going to display our blog on our home page. So we have to create one component here, that is blogs. Okay, so inside this component we are going to create a card component, which basically rendering our all blog on home page. So let's generate some snippet first, and from material design bootstrap we need to bring some component. So mdb react UI kit, and I'm going to paste some component here which we need to create card. So this all component you need to import from our mdb react UI kit to build a card. Now we also need link from our react router DOM. Okay, link. So this block component basically will accept some props from our home.js file. So it will accept props like title, category, description, ID, image URL, then excerpt. So excerpt basically used to show the long content in a short format using 3 dot. Okay, so we will write that function in our home.js file only, and after that we are also going to receive one handle delete. Okay, so these many props we are going to receive from our home component. Now after that what we have to do, so let's remove this one, and we are going to have mdb call, okay, column, and we are going to have size here. Size will be the 4. After that I'm going to use card, mdb card. Okay, and here class name, so I'm going to use bootstrap class name. So height 100 I wanted to fix, and margin top I'm going to give empty -2, and also some inline styling I'm going to give here for card. So max width will be 22 rem. Okay, after that we are going to have our card image. So mdb card image I'm going to use, and inside that we are going to have our source image URL. Then in case of alternate, so in alternate I'm going to provide title. If for some reason image got broke, position will be top, Then I'm going to provide some line styling again. So max width, it will be 100%, and height I'm going to give here 100 pixel, not 100 pixel, 180 pixel. After that I'm going to use MDB card body, in which we will have our title, our short description, category with badge and icons. So inside this MDB card body, I am going to use MDB card title, and here I am going to render our title. After that I am going to have MDB card text. So MDB card text, and inside this I am going to display the description, but we are going to display the description using the excerpt. So this will basically make our description short with 3 dots. So after that we are going to have link, and this will basically navigate towards a single blog page. So blog and ID, and here we can give like read more. Okay, now below this description we are going to have our category with the badge. So badge we haven't created, so badge component we haven't created till now. So for now just use p tag only. After that I am going to have 2 icon for editing the blog or deleting the blog. Okay, so I'm going to use span tag, and I'm going to use here mdb btn, and here I'm going to have class name empty-1, then tag will be a, color I can give here like none. Okay, and on click I can just pass this handle delete, because we are going to handle from our parent component. Okay, and we have to pass the ID like this way. After this we are going to have our icon. So mdb icon, and we are going to use font awesome icon. So FAS, so icon will be the trash for deleting the blog, and style, so I am going to give the color of icon to this. So hash double D 4B39. okay, and the icon size will be the LG, okay, large. Okay, after that, so after this button we are going to have a link to basically navigate toward the add edit blog page in order to update the existing blog. So here we are going to use link, and it will basically navigate toward the edit blog route with ID. So we have to pass the ID, and here I'm going to use icon. So I'm just going to copy this one and let's paste it here. So the icon will be the edit, okay, and the color will also get changed here. So the color will be the 55 ACEE, and I'm going to add one style like margin left with 10 pixel. So here we are done with the card component. Now let's go to the home.js file. So here we need to bring hooks, use state and use effect. So first I'm going to define a data. So data dot set data, and it will be use state, and it will be the empty array. Now inside this use effect, I am going to fetch all the block that we have in our db.json file. So the function name will be the load blocks data. Okay, we are going to define this load block data below this use effect, and this dependency array will be the empty. So const load block data, and this will be the async because we are going to make a API request with our JSON server. So here we are going to get a response. So response will be await access dot post. So you can see that access is imported here. So access dot post, and here we are going to make our request. So it will be the get request because we wanted our all blocks from our db.json file. And let's copy this URL from our addedit blog.js file, and let's use it here. Now here first we are going to check if response.status 200, then only we are going to set the data to response.data, else we can show some kind of error notification to the user like something went wrong. Okay, and let's put one console whether we are getting all this data from our JSON server or not. So let's go to the browser, refresh this one. Now let's open the console. So we got one array, so only we have one block in our db.json file, so it's coming over here. So we got port, date, description, id, image URL, and title. Now we have to use this blocks component that we have created in our component folder inside this home.js file. So now the next thing what we have to do, so we wanted to display our all block in a card component that we have created in this component folder. So first we need to bring couple of components from our MDB React UI kit. So let's bring those components first, then only we will able to work. So MDB React UI kit, we need MDB row, MDB call, then we need MDB container. Let's bring MDB typography as well. So here I'm going to use fragment, and here I'm going to have one row, and first I'm going to check like if you don't have any data. Okay, then you just show a message like no block found. So I'm going to use here MDB typography, a material design bootstrap component, and I'm going to give here class name text center mb-0 tag. I'm going to give here h2, and it will be the message like no block found. Okay, now after this what we have to do, so MDB call, and inside this I'm going to have MDB container. Inside this I'm going to have MDB row, then we have our data dot map, item index. Then I am going to have my this blocks component. So VS Code automatically import this one. You can see that at top the VS Code is automatically import this blocks component from this component folder. After that we are going to pass like key. So first we need to specify the key, otherwise we will get a warning. Then I am going to spread out our all item like this way, so we don't have to pass like ID, title, description, image, URL one by one. So we can pass like this way. So we can destructure ID, title, category, description, image, URL. Okay, but this excerpt and handle delete we have to pass. So excerpt we have to pass, which we haven't created till now, and handle delete we have to pass. So now let's create this function. So const handle delete. So for now just leave as it is, and let's write the logic here. Excerpt. So this excerpt basically receiving a string. So if the str dot length got greater than 50, then I wanted to sort the description on our home page, and along with I am going to show the three dot. So str is equal to str dot substring, then 0, 50, and I am going to show the three dots. So space, three dot, space. Okay, and I'm just going to return this string. So this created. So let's go to the browser, refresh this one. So we are getting some issue. So it will be substring, not string. Okay, so let's go to the browser. So now you can see that we have got our first blog in our home page in a card component. Here we have just made some common mistake. So it will be on click. Okay, so let's make sure to change this one to on click, and I think we are done. So the next thing we are going to work on our this badge component. So basically this category I wanted to show in a badge. So let's create one badge component. So badge dot js. Let's generate a snippet here, and here I am going to receive children and style info. Okay, and I'm going to define some color key based on the category. So it will be object. So if it is fashion, then it will be primary. If it's travel, then it will be the success. If it's fitness, then it will be danger. If it's food, then it will be warning. If it's tech, then it will be the info. If it's sports, then it will be the dark. Now we are going to have this style info here. Okay, style info, and we are going to use here h5 tag. Okay, h5 tag. After this, I'm going to use mdb badge, and inside this I'm going to decide based on the category. Okay, so this badge color will get changed based on the category. So color is equal to color key, and here we can pass the children, and here it will be the children. Okay, now let's use this badge component inside this blocks.js file. So earlier we used p tag, so here we can use badge component. So VS Code automatically import that badge component. Now let's go to the browser. So you can see that we have got our nice badge for this food blog. Okay, so the next thing, I wanted to perform the delete operation, so we can delete a blog. So for deleting the blog, let's first add one blog here. So I'm going to add one blog like test. I'm going to give some description here. I'm going to upload one image. So let's upload this one. So we got message like image uploaded successfully. So let's upload inside this fashion. Okay, let's click on add. So our blog is created successfully. You can see that we are able to see on our home page. Now we wanted to perform the delete operation. So we have already defined a function in our home.js file. So let's go to the home.js file, and here we are receiving the ID from our this blocks.js file, and this will be the async because we are going to make a API request here. And inside this, first I'm going to warn the user like, are you sure you wanted to delete that blog? Some kind of message to user before they delete this record. So are you sure you wanted to delete that blog? Okay, something like this message I wanted to show to the users, and once user click on OK, the blog will get deleted. Now here we can just copy this one, everything, because it will be the similar only the request will gonna be changed. So it will be the delete, and we are going to delete a blog based on the ID. So I'm going to use here backtick so that we can pass the ID. Okay, and once we get the response status like 200, that means our blog is deleted successfully. So here we can give a message like toast.success blog deleted successfully. Okay, and after that I wanted to fetch the latest data from our JSON server, so I can execute this function. Okay, which is responsible for fetching the blocks from our JSON server, and in else the message will be the same. So let's perform whether we are able to delete a blog or not. So let's go into the browser. Let's click on this delete icon. We got this message like, are you sure that you wanted to delete that blog? And if you click OK, you can see that we have got message like blog deleted successfully. So delete operation we have also performed. So now we have to perform the editing the existing blog. So if user click on this edit icon, so it will basically navigate towards the add edit page. So first we are going to populate all the existing value into each respective input field, and we have to update few things more, like the title will be the update blog, button value will be the update, and in case of update we are not going to update the image as well, because it is not possible to populate the file value with HTML input tag. So populating the value for file, it's not allowed with the input type file. Okay, so in case of update we are not going to allow the user to update the image. Okay, so let's first work on populating the existing value on each respective input field. So here you can see that in the URL we are getting the ID. So we need this ID in our add edit blog.js file. So to get that ID, we are going to use param from our React router DOM. So use param, and we can use like this way, use params, and we can destructure the ID that we have in URL. Now we have to do some more thing here. So we have to write one use effect first, and here we have to define one state to determine whether we are in edit mode or not. So edit mode, set edit mode, and it will be the false. Okay, now if we have the ID, so this use effect only runs once we have the ID. So if we have the ID, that means user is updating the existing blog. In that case, what I wanted to do, I wanted to set the edit mode to true. Okay, and we wanted to fetch the single blog based on the ID, so that way we will able to populate the value into each respective input field. So get single blog, so this function we will define. So get single blog, and here we are going to pass the ID, and in else what we have to do, so set edit mode will be the false obviously, and set form value also we need to adjust, so it will be like initial state. Now let's define this get single blog to fetch the single blog based on the ID. So get single blog, it will receive an ID, and it will be the async because we are going to make a API request. So we will get single blog, and we will get a single blog in an object only. So xcs dot get, and here we can just copy this URL that we have in our handle submit. We can paste it here. Okay, and after this we can basically do like set form value, and it will be single blog dot data. Okay, so let's go into the browser. So now you can see that we are able to populate all the existing value into each respective input field for this blog ID. And you can also do one small modification here. So in case API get failed, so single blog dot status is equal to 200, then only you wanted to set the form value. Okay, and in else you can just show a error notification to the user like something went wrong. Now it will be work as it is. So you can go to the home page first. Now let's click on this edit icon. So now you can see that we are able to populate the each value into each respective input field. Now we have to restrict this uploading file in case of updating the existing blog, because it's not possible with the input type file. And we have to change this heading from add blog to update blog, and the button will be the also get updated from add to update. So let's do all these changes first, then we will update the existing blog. So inside return, here we can determine, like if you are in edit mode, then it will be the update block, else it will be the add block. And here for button also we can do the same thing, like if you are in edit mode, that means user is updating the existing block, else it is adding the new block. And after that, what we have to do, so we have to restrict this uploading the image file. So here we can check, like if we are not in edit mode, that means user is adding a new block. So in that case, I wanted to show this. So let's cut this one, paste it here, and here we can use, I think, fragment. Let's cut out all this thing, paste it here. Now let's go into the browser. So now you can see that in case of updating blog, you cannot update the image. So you can only update the title, description and category. The button value also got changed and heading also got changed. Now let's click on this add block. We are getting this input file to upload an image. So this is working. So let's continue working on our updating the existing blog. So we have to work now on handle submit. So in handle submit, what we have to do, so first we need to determine whether we are in edit mode or not. So if you are not in edit mode, that means user is adding a new block. So we can cut out all this piece of code and we can paste it here. Okay, and this will also get cut out. And in else part, we are going to basically update our existing blog. So here we can just copy this one and here. So here we are not going to pass this date one. So date will be applicable for only adding the new block. Okay, so here we can just pass our form value, because form value will already contain image, title, description, category, date, all these things. Okay, and we have to also determine whether we are in edit mode or not. So image validation will only take care in case of adding the new block. So we have to also adjust this one. So const image validation, and if you're checking, like if you're not in edit mode, then we have to do a validation of image whether it's uploaded or not, and in case it will be the true, that means we are not doing a image validation in case of updating the existing blog. And here we are going to update the blog based on the ID. So here I'm going to use backtick and I'm going to update a blog based on the ID, and here I'm passing form value and the request will be the put, and the status we are getting 200 in case of updating the existing blog, and the message will get changed from blog created to blog updated successfully. And in both cases, like adding the new blog or updating the existing blog, we wanted to clear out each input field, and after that I wanted to navigate towards the home page. So let's see whether we are able to update the existing blog or not. So let's go into the browser. First let's go to the home page. Let's click on edit icon. Let's update the title, food blog updated. Okay, and let's click on update. So now you can see that we have got our push notification that's saying that blog updated successfully, and we have got our title, and our title got updated from food blog to food blog updated. So we have also performed the update operation. Now the next thing, we are going to work on our single blog page. So if you click on read more, then you will basically navigate toward the single blog page where you can read more about this particular blog. So now we are going to work on this single blog page. So guys, let's work on this single blog page. So I am going into my VS Code, and I need to bring some component from our material design bootstrap. So from material design bootstrap, we need to bring a component. So I'm going to paste all those component here. So these many component is required in this file from material design bootstrap, and we also need here use param and link from our React router DOM, because we are going to show the single blog detail with the help of ID. So we need use param, and let's also bring the link. After that, let's bring access here. So import access, because we are going to make a API request, and let's bring our batch component as well here. So now we need to bring hooks as well. So use state, use effect, and define one state. So set blog. So we need to define this state here, and let it be empty. And after that, we need to grab the ID that is coming here in URL. Okay, so this ID we need. So for that purpose, I have bring that use params. So we have ID here. Now what we have to do, so we can write one use effect, and this use effect will only run once we have ID in the URL. So here we can check if we have the ID, then get the single blog. So this function I am going to define now. So get single blog, and this will be the async await. So let's make it async, because we will be making a API request. So const response, okay, and is equal to await access dot post, and here I am going to copy the URL from our add edit blog file. Okay, so let's copy this one, come to blog.js file and paste it here. Okay, and after that, what we have to do, so you will get the response in a single object, because we are fetching the single object based on the ID. So here what we can do, so set blog and response dot data, and here also you can do one more thing, like if response dot status, if you got 200, and this request will be the get, not post, because we are fetching the data from our JSON server. So in that case, we are just going to set the blog, okay, with response.data, and else we can give some notification to user like something went wrong. So toast.error, and we can give message like something went wrong. Now after that, so let's format this one. Now after that, we have to design one style info for our badge. So style info, and here it will be display inline. Why I am doing this, because there will be a different styling we have to provide for our badge component in our single blog page. because we are utilizing the same batch component for our home page as well as single blog page. So we need to adjust some styling. So from this component I am passing all this styling. So margin left 5 pixel, float it's gonna be right, and margin top I am going to give here 7 pixel. Okay, now what we need to do here, so here we can remove all this thing and we can use here mdb container, and inside this I'm going to pass some inline styling and it will be like border. So we need border around our blog, so 1 pixel solid, and I'm going to give this color hash d1 ebe8. okay, after that I'm going to give here link because we are going to have a go back button. So link to, it will navigate back to the home page, and here I'm going to use strong tag with the class name empty-3. okay, and it will be like go back, and here also I'm going to provide some inline styling. So inline styling I'm going to give here like float, so it will be left, and color I'm going to give here traditional black color. okay, now after this link what we have to do, so mdb typography, and here I am going to show the blog title. okay, so blog, and we have to write like this way, blog and blog dot title, otherwise you will get an error. So let's see whether we are able to display this blog title or not. So let's go to the browser. So here we got our blog title. okay, that is food blog updated. So now we need to style this one as well, mdb typography. So here I'm going to give tag h2, and class name I'm going to give here, so class name will be, it's a bootstrap class name only, so text muted empty -2, and style I'm going to give some inline style, so that will be display inline block. okay, inline block. Now let's go to the browser. So this is looking good. Now after this mdb typography what we have to do, so I'm going to have an image here, so we are going to display image after our title. So source, and here, so our all data is present in a blog and it is a single object, so we can write like this way, blog and blog dot image url. okay, and we can give some class name here like image fluid rounded. okay, and we can give here like alt, so we can give the title only. So let's copy this one and paste it here, and we can give some inline style to this image tag. So width, so width will be 100%, and max height will be 600 pixel. okay, So let's see how our image look like. So it's looking good. Now let's go back to VS Code, and after this I'm going to have div, and I'm going to provide some inline styling here. So margin top, so I'm going to provide some inline styling. Margin top, that is 20 pixels, and I'm going to have one more div with the style height 43 pixel. Background I can give here some color like hash f6 f6 f6, and then I'm going to use mdb icon here. Okay, so mdb icon, and inside that I'm going to have a style, so it will be float left, and class name I'm going to give here empty-3 far icon. I'm going to use icon here like calendar alt. So basically we are displaying the date of blog, so calendar alt, and the size of icon will be the large, so I'm giving here LG. After that we are going to have a strong tag in which I am going to show the date of blog. So blog dot date. Okay, and inside this I'm going to provide some inline styling again. Okay, so here I'm going to give like float left, then margin top, so margin top will be 12 pixel, margin left 2 pixel. Okay, and after this I am going to use our badge component, so I have already imported that one, and inside this I am going to provide like blog and blog dot category, and here we need to pass our style info. Okay, so style info, so we can check this one first how it's look like. So it's looking good. Now below this I am going to show the detail of this blog content. So after this badge, so after this div we are going to have mdb typography, and I'm going to use here class name bootstrap class name lead md-0, and here I'm going to give like blog and blog dot description. Okay, so spelling is incorrect, so it will be description. So let's go into the browser, scroll down. So now we have got the description for this blog. So we have completed this single blog page as well. Now we have to also display the related post to this category. So let's do that one as well. So for that I am going to create a couple of blog. Okay, so I'm going to create one more food blog like tasty food. Okay, and I'm going to paste a content here. So I'm going to select one file here. So I'm going to select this one. This time we got message like image uploaded successfully. Let's select category like food. Now let's add. So this is getting add, and I'm going to add one more blog with a different category. So let's add that one as well. So I'm going to upload a blog related to tech. So tech blog I'm going to upload. Let's paste the description, select the image. So image I'm going to use this one. Now let's select the category. So it will be tech. Let's click on add. So this is also getting add. Now I'm going to show the related post with this blog category, that is food. So for that we also need to make one more API call. So let's do that one. So first what we need to do here, so here I am going to define one state that will be like related blog or related post, anything you can give. So set related post, and here use state it will be there, and it will be empty array. Now after that what we have to do, so while getting the single blog we are going to fetch the related post as well. So const related post, okay, and here so we can give here like related post data, okay, so it won't make any confusion. And here we can do like await xcs dot get, and we can just use this URL, okay, and instead of using ID we are going to use like response dot data dot category, okay. So this response basically containing a single object in which we will have title, description, category, image, URL. So we can access the category like this way, and we will make another API request. So this API basically fetch all the posts related to the food category. So basically here it will fetch the both posts that we have in our home page, okay. So here you can see that we have a two blog related to the food category, and if you click on read more, so here basically you are making an API request to get the single blog, and at the same time we are also making the API request to get the related post to that food category. So basically it will fetch the both blog. So what we can do here, set related post, and here we can do like related post data dot data, okay. Now in the related post we have to show only one blog. We don't want it to display all these blogs. So let's refresh this one. Something is not working. So why it is not working? So we need to make a here or condition, and we can also check like related post data dot status equal to 200, then we can set the related post, okay. Now let's go to the browser, refresh this one. So we are not getting here anything. So it will be category, okay. So we are making one small error here. So category is equal to like this way, okay. Then only you will get your blog related to this food category. And we only wanted to show the 3 blog in the related post area. So we can use here ampersand start equal to 0, ampersand end is equal to 3, okay. So we will only fetch the 3 posts related to that particular category. Now let's go into the browser. So it is working as expected. Now we are going to display the related post. So below, what we have to check first, so if related post and related post dot length greater than 0, then only we have to show the related post. Now here I am going to use h1 tag, and here it will be like related post heading, and I am going to paste some CSS styling related to this h1 tag inside this index.css file. So this is styling. I am going to paste it over here for h1 tag. So you can copy all this styling by pausing this video. So I hope you have copied all this styling, and if you go to the browser, so it's not reflecting our changes. So let's save this file. We haven't saved this file. Okay, now let's go to the browser, and now here you can saw that we got our related post heading between this horizontal line. After that we have to show our related post. So here I'm going to use mdb row, okay, with the class name. So I'm going to use class name row hyphen call hyphen 1, then row calls md3 and g hyphen 4. Okay, and here let's use fragment, otherwise we will keep getting this error. So let's cut out this one and paste it here, and here we are going to have our related post. So related post dot map, we can have item here index, and we can use here mdb call column, and inside that we can use mdb card. Okay, we can use your link, and here what we have to do, so from here also you can navigate towards the single blog page. So I'm just specifying the URL here. So here we can give here id, so item dot id, and below this link I can use mdb card image. Okay, mdb card image, and we can have source item dot image URL, else we can give here like item dot title, position we can give top. Okay, so by clicking on image you will basically navigate towards the single blog page only, and we can have some content. So mdb card body, and inside that I can use mdb card title with like item dot title, and then we can have mdb card text. So this will be the text, and this will be the text, and here we can use description. Okay, and here again I'm going to use excerpt. So we will bring that method from our home.js file. So excerpt we need here, and let's copy this logic. Okay, and let paste it over here in a single block page. Okay, so let's go into the browser, refresh this one. So now you can see that we are getting our related post, and here you have might notice that we are getting this blog as well under this related post. So we don't wanted this blog here because we are already on this page. Okay, so we don't wanted to display this blog under the related post. So what we can do here, and here we can little bit increase excerpt. So let's give here 55. Let's go to the browser. Okay, or we can give 60 around. That will be good. Okay, okay, so we don't wanted to display this blog under the related post because we are already on this blog. So what we can do, so we can apply one filter. So after this we can use filter, and we can check here like item. So item.id, if it's not match, okay, then we wanted to show all that blog. Okay, if id is not match, so it will automatically filter out that blog. Okay, so you can see that now we are not able to see that blog. So this way we have filter out, and if you go to home page and if you click on this one, read more, so now here we don't have related post, so we don't wanted to display this heading as well if you don't have any related post to this category tag. So if you don't have any blog related to this category tag, then this API will always return the single array of object. So we can write one logic here. So let's cut this one, cut this part, and we can check again if related post dot length greater than 1. Okay, that means we have more blog related to that category. Then in that case we wanted to show those blog under the related post. So here we can give like related post. So let's go into the browser. Now you can see that we are not able to see that heading because we don't have any blog related to this tech category. And if you go to the home page and if you click on this read more, so this is working as expected. So we are getting related post for this food category, and if you click on this blog, you will navigate to this single blog page, that is food blog updated. So now you are in food blog update. You can see the title here. So you can also switch between this blog through this way as well. So this is working now. So we have completed this functionality as well on our single blog page. Now we have to work on our search component. Okay, so user can also able to search the blog. So let's do that one. So for that I am going to create one file here under the component. So that will be the search.js. Let's generate a snippet. So we need to bring button component from our material design bootstrap. So let's bring that one, mdb btn, and we are going to receive some props from our home component. So that will be like handle search value on input change. Okay, handle search value on input change. So these three props we are going to receive from our search component, and here we are going to have div with the class name search form. Okay, And after that I'm going to use form component. We don't need action, and here we can give class name like d hyphen flex, and we can have on submit, and on submit we can give here like handle search, which is we will get from our home page. And inside this form we are going to have one input field. Type will be the text, class name will be the form control. Okay, placeholder we can give here like search blog, and we can have value. So I'm going to paste this value which we will be maintaining from our parent component, that is home. Let's format this one. Now we are going to have on change, so I'm going to use this method here on input change, and I'm going to have button mdb btn, that will be the search. Color will be the primary. So for primary we don't need to specify the color. Okay, and type we can specify here, so it will be submit. Now I'm going to paste the css styling for this class name in index.css file. I'm going to paste that styling for that class name, that is search form. So this styling we need to give, okay, for our search form class name. Now let's go to the home.js file, and we are going to display our search input field here. So let's first bring that search component. Now let's go to the browser. So it's looking good. Now we have to work on this prop that we are passing to our search component. So first I'm going to define one state for search input field, that is search value, set search value. Okay, use state, let's make it empty, and here we have to specify like search value, so it will be search value only. Then on input change, so which yet to be defined, and we have handle search, this is also need to define. So const input on input change, and it will receive an event. We can set like set search value e dot target dot value, and after that let's pass this one here. Let's define handle search, const handle search, and here it will be async. Okay, and first let's do e dot prevent default, e dot prevent default, to prevent the default behavior of browser, and we are going to make a request here. So const response await access dot get, and I can just copy this one, some small adjustment will require. So let's copy this one entire thing, use it here, remove all this thing. Here we need to pass search value. Okay, and here we have to pass q. Okay, that's it. And if we got the response dot status with 200, then we are going to set the data. So set data we are going to use here. Okay, set data response dot data, else we are going to show the toast error message to the user, like something went wrong. Okay, so let's copy this one, let's use it here. Okay, now let's go to the browser. So we have something missing here, so E we have to provide here as well, because this will also receive an event. Now let's go to the browser, refresh this one. Now let's search the block, so text, and we are not getting cross mark here. To basically clear out this input field, so what we can do, so type we can give here search only. Now let's go into the browser, refresh this one. Now let's search with the take again. We are getting this one, and if you click on this cross, it will get clear out. So once it get clear out, then we wanted to load all the data that we have in our JSON server. So for that, what we can do, so let's go to the VS Code, and here what we have to do, so we can check if we don't have value, so e.target.value, then in that case we wanted to just load all the blocks data. So now let's see this is working or not. So let's search with this time like testy. Okay, so we are getting this block related to testy, and if you click on this cross, so it will get clear out and we will get our all block from our JSON server. So this is working. Now the next thing, I wanted to basically get the block based on the category. So I want a category over here, so let's do that one. So I am going to create one file inside this component folder, that is category. Okay, .js, and let's generate a snippet, and this will basically receive some props from our home page. So handle category is gonna receive an options. Okay, and from material design booster we need to bring some component. So from MDB React UI kit we need to bring MDB card, we need MDB list group, MDB list group item, and here instead of div we are going to have MDB card with some inline style, and the style I'm going to give here width 80 RAM, 18 RAM, margin top I'm going to give 20 pixel, and here I'm going to have h4 tag. Okay, that will be like categories. Okay, then I'm going to use MDB list group. Okay, and I'm going to pass a props here flush, and I'm going to map or all option, so option dot map we are going to get a item, so index. So after this we are going to have our mdb list group item, in which we are going to show all the category. So we can give here like item and plus, and here first let's provide the key index, and style let's give here so cursor, pointer, okay, and on click. So on click, in on click I'm going to use this method, that is handle category, okay, and I'm going to pass the item. Here we have extra this one, so let's remove this one, let's format this one. Now let's go to the home.js file, and here we need to pass the option, okay. So option we have already defined here, so let's copy this one, okay. Let's go to home.js file, let paste it here, and we can use this category component here below this column. So we can have one more column with the size 3, okay, and here we can use category component. So category, so VS Code automatically import that component, and here we can pass our all options that we have defined below our use state. You can see that here, and category component is automatically import from our VS Code. So let's first go into the browser. So here you can see that we have got our category, okay, and this category will basically get down because here we are going to have our latest post component. So let's first work on this categories component. So we wanted to get the post based on the different category, okay. So next thing what we can do here, so we need to define one method here. So we are passing this one as well, handle category. So let's define this one outside this return, so it will be async, and here we can make our API call. So const response, and we have already used this API related to categories. So let's go to the blog.js file and we can use this one. So let's copy this one, let's paste it over here. So let's go to the home.js. So I'm going to use await xcs dot get, and here let's remove all this thing, and we are going to receive a category from our category component. So we can pass category here, and now here we can check first if response dot status is equal to 200, then we are going to set the data. So set data response dot data, else we are going to show the same message like something went wrong, something went wrong. Now let's see whether it's working or not. Now let's get the block based on the category. So for food we are getting only food block. If you click on tech, we are getting only tech block, okay. So now what I'm going to do, so first I'm going to add some more blog here so that we can implement rest of the functionality like latest post and pagination. So we need to add some more blog here. This is also working, and you can see that we have got different color for our category. So we have created overall 6 blocks. Let's add one more block. So this is also getting added. Now the next thing, we wanted to show the latest block feature in our application. So whenever user add a new block, so it will basically appear on this side, and we will only display only 4 latest block created by the user, because later we are going to have a pagination. So during the pagination only 5 block will get displayed, and that will basically display in the order. So you will not able to see the last block, and in order to see the last block you have to basically take the help of pagination. So you can also do with that pagination if you wanted to go to the last block, but last block also we can show here in our latest block component. So let's implement that one. So let's go to the VS Code, and here I'm going to have component like latest blog, okay, .js. So first let's generate a snippet, and here we need to bring component from our MDB React UI kit. So from MDB React UI kit we need to bring some component related to card. So MDB card, MDB row, MDB column, MDB card image, and MDB card body, okay. And we also need to bring the link. So import from react.odom, and we need to bring the link. And here we are going to receive props like image, URL, title, ID, and category, okay. After that I am going to use link, and we also wanted to navigate toward the single blog page based on the ID from our latest blog section. So blog, and we have to specify here ID. After that I am going to use card component, so MDB card, and I am going to use some inline styling here. So max width I am going to give here 300 pixel. Height I am going to give here 80 pixel, and I'm going to give here bootstrap class name, that will be empty-2, that is margin top. And after that I'm going to use MDB row with the class name G-0, and I'm going to use here MDB column, and I'm going to give here MD3, okay. And here I'm going to use MDB card image. So here I'm going to give source, that is image URL, alt. So in alt we can use title, fluid we can give here, class name we can give here like rounded, circle, to make the image round, and we can give some inline styling here as well. So let's keep the height 80 pixel only. Okay, and after this MDB column, we are going to have one more MDB column. So we can give here MD9, and we can use here MDB card body, in which I can have a p tag with the class name text start, then latest title, and it will be like title only, which we are getting from our home page. And we have to define the styling for this class name in our index.css file. So let's go to the index.css file, and I'm going to paste some styling over here. So I'm going to give this styling. After that, let's go to the home.js file, and here what we can do. So first I'm going to define one state here, which will basically holding the latest blog data. So latest blog set latest blog. Okay, and here inside use effect we can have one function like fetch latest blog. Now we have to define this function. So let's define here only. So const let fetch latest blog, and this will be the async. So here basically what we wanted to do, so we wanted to fetch the last 4 record. So we wanted to create an API such way that it will fetch always last 4 blog. Okay, so whenever user add a new blog, so it will fetch always the last 4 blog that we are going to display here. Okay, so for that we have to basically do some adjustment in our JSON server API. So first we need the total blog. Okay, so total blog, how we can get? So we can just copy this one. So this is responsible for getting the total blog. Okay, now we have to specify the start and end. So start like total blog dot data dot length -4. Okay, and end will be nothing but it will be the total blog dot length only, and we have to specify with data. Now we have got our start and end. Now we have to write a API here. So response is equal to, so again we are going to use this one only, but this time we are going to modify this API. So I am going to use here backtick. Okay, and after that I am going to specify our start and end. So start and end, and the same concept we are going to use for our pagination as well. So let's specify here end as well, end value. So let's put here $. Now we can just copy this one. Okay, we can just paste it here. So we wanted to set this data into a set latest blog. Okay, now this latest blog, let's see what is it receiving. So it's receiving image URL, ID and category. So category we don't need here, so let's remove this one. and let's go to the home.js file. And after this, what we have to do, so let's come down, and inside this column tag we are going to have our latest post or blog. So h4, we are going to use h4 tag, and it will be the latest post, and class name I'm going to give here like text hyphen start. Okay, and here we can have like latest blog dot map. So I'm going to have item index, and here I can bring our latest blog component. So VS Code automatically import that component. Here we can use key, and here we can just spread out our all item so that we can destructure in our latest blog component like this way. So here we need only image URL, title and ID. You can also destructure other stuff like category and description, but for this latest post is not required. So let's go into the browser. So now here you can see that we have got our latest post. Okay, and if you click on this one, so this way also you can navigate towards a single blog page. Okay, so this is working, look like. So guys, we have implemented the latest post feature as well in our application. So the last feature is left like to implement the pagination. So in pagination we wanted to display only the 5 blog per page. So let's see how we can implement this one. So let's go to the VS Code, and first I'm going to create a component. Inside this component folder, that is pagination.js. okay, let's generate a snippet here for pagination. So here we need to bring some component from our MDB React UI kit to implement the pagination. So from MDB React UI kit we can bring like MDB pagination item, MDB pagination link, and MDB btn. Okay, we can destructure some prof that we are going to receive from our parent component, that is home. So it will receive current page. Okay, page limit it's gonna receive, then it's gonna receive load blocks data. Okay, data and total blog. Here I am going to define one function, that is const render pagination. Okay, and first I am going to check like if we have the current page that is on 0, then we have to show the next button in order to navigate towards the different page. So here I am going to write like MDB pagination. Okay, and it's gonna have a center. Class name I'm going to use MB-0, and we are going to have MDB pagination item, then MDB pagination link. So okay, and let's remove this extra. Okay, so it will be below, and here it will be 1. Now we are going to have one more pagination item, so let's copy this one, and inside that we are going to have our button. So inside this we are going to have our button. So here I'm going to use MDB btn. So button will be the rounded. I'm going to have on click. Okay, and this will be the loads blocks data, and the value of button will be the next. Okay, now in else part we have to check a condition like if in else if we are going to check a condition like if current page less than page limit -1. Okay, and data dot length is equal to page limit. I wanted to show the previous and next button, so both button I wanted to display. So in that case we can just copy this one, we can just paste it over here. Okay, so here we have to do some adjustment. So here the value will become back. Okay, and here mdb pagination link is not required, so first let's remove this one. And here we also need to increase the page, so we can cut this out and we can use here. And from here also we don't need page mdb pagination link, so let's remove this one. And here whatever the current page will be there, it will get increases, and the button value will be the previous. Okay, and again we are going to have one more pagination item, so I'm just going to copy this one. Okay, and I'm going to paste it here below, and this pagination button will get closed here. So let's copy this one, cut this one and paste it over here. And this pagination button and this pagination item will get closed here, so we can remove this one, and here it will be the next. Okay, and I think that's it. And we are going to have one else condition in which if user is reached to the last page, then in that case I wanted to show the page number and the previous button. So we can just copy this one entire thing again, and before we copy we have to put inside this return, otherwise it won't work. Okay, so let's copy this one entire thing and put it in return. Now inside this else we wanted to show the previous button along with the page number, so we can copy this one, we can paste it here, and it will be mdb pagination. So we need to provide that closing bracket, so we need to provide that closing tag, and we also need to put inside this return, otherwise it won't show to you. So let's copy, so let's cut this one, paste it here. Okay, and here we can simply do like render pagination. Okay, now so in order to work with the pagination we have to do some adjustment in our existing API. So we wanted to show the blog 5 per page. Okay, so from here we are going to provide some default value, so 0 5 0. So this is start, this is end, and this is increase or decrease value. So by default we are fetching the 5 block per page on the home page. So here now we cannot use like this way, so we have to do like this way. And here we can provide our start and end value. Okay, and here it will be the end. So we are receiving all this value from here. 0, sorry, here we are receiving start, end, and increase. Okay, and after this what we have to do, so we have to do set current page. Okay, so we have to first define the state for setting the current page. So it will be current page. So set current page, and this will be the 0. We are going to have one more state for page limit. So page limit, and we wanted to display the 5 block per page, and we are also going to have one more state for setting the total block length. Okay, so let's copy this one. So this will be total block. Okay, set total block, and this could be null initially. Okay, now we have to set the current page, and we can give here like current page plus increase. Okay, now let's first go to the browser. So now you can see that we are able to see only 5 block per page. Okay, so now we have to work on our pagination. So pagination we have already created. So now what we can do here, so first let's go to the return part. So after this mdb column, so after this mdb row, we are going to have one more div with the class name empty-3, and inside this class name first let's bring the pagination. So let's see pagination is showing or not. So here we got the pagination, and at the end, and currently we are not providing any value, so let's provide those value. Current page, okay, load blocks data. So load blocks data we have to provide, then page limit, and data also we need to provide, and we have to also provide the total block. That means how much block we have in our db.json file. So for that what we can do, so here basically we are getting our all the blocks. So here we can set the set total block. Okay, so here we can do like total block dot data dot length. So this function will always executed because we have put inside this use effect. So this way basically we can get the length of the total block that we have in our db.json file. So now we can pass this one as well, total block. Okay, so let's go to the browser, refresh it. Okay, so now this next will not work as expected because we need to do some adjustment as well in our pagination component. So let's go to the pagination component first, and here what we have to do, so here we have to provide some default value again from this load block data, because this API got modified. Here you can see that. So we have to provide a start, end, and increase. So for this scenario, so we have to pass like 5. So next 5 block we are going to get by clicking on the next button, and we are going to increase the page. Okay, And for this scenario we have to pass like this way, current page. So here basically we are going backward, so here we can give like, so current page minus 1 into 5. So we have to pass the argument like this way, current page into 5, and since we are going backward, so we have to do a decrement. So we have to do a decrement, so minus 1. Now here what we have to provide, so first let's copy this one and let's paste it here. So here basically we are going again next, so that means we have some more block. So here what we can do, so let's remove this extra bracket, and here it will be the current plus 1 into 5, current plus 2. So let's put this one in bracket as well, into 5, and this time we have to increase. And for this scenario, what we can do, so we can pass this on click because it will work in the same manner. So let's paste it here. Okay, now let's go to the browser. First refresh this one. So we got page 1 and we got next button, and we have got page 2, and we don't have more block, so we are getting here previous button, and we have 2 block here. Okay, and we have to also do some more adjustment in this pagination component. So here we are checking like if we are in current page, that is 0, and if the data length is less than 3, okay, sorry, is less than 5, then we don't want it to show the pagination component. Okay, so let's put one more bracket because we are going to have one more or condition. Or so this is the one condition, that means if we are in current page, that is first page, and we have the block less than 5, then in that case I don't want it to show the pagination component. And for the second condition, what we are going to check, so we are getting total block. So total block basically nothing but it's a total length of block that we have in our db.json file. So at the moment we have 7 block. You can see that 5 block on this page and the 2 block in the next page. So overall we have a 7 block. So here we can check like if total block is less than page limit, sorry, so if total block is equal to the page limit, that means what I'm trying to do here, so suppose we have only 5 block in our db.json file, so in that case also I don't want it to show the pagination, because if you click on next you will get a blank. Okay, so in that case also I wanted to avoid to show the pagination component, so that's why I'm checking this scenario as well. And we have to also check, we are checking for the first page only, not other page. So in that case I wanted to just return null. Okay, so let's go to browser. So you don't get changes here until you delete any block. Okay, so for example, if I delete the 2 blocks, and so if I delete this one, okay, so block is getting deleted, but we are getting some issue. So why we are getting this issue? Because while deleting the data from our home.js file, we are also fetching the latest block with this load block data. So here also we have to pass the argument. So here what we have to do, so we are going to provide again default value. So we wanted to start from the first page, so 050, and we have to also provide here one more additional operation like delete. Okay, so with the help of this argument, so we are going to set the current page to the initial value. So we need this one, and let's go to the loads block data function, and here what we have to do, so here basically we can pass the argument like operation, and inside this what we have to do, so after setting this respond.data we can check like if we have the operation. So this will work only in case of delete. So in that case set current page to 0 or else it will always increase the page for other scenario. Okay, so let's try this one and let's refresh this one. Let's go to next. So here we have only one block. Let's delete this one. So now our block is getting deleted here. Okay, and we have only 5 blocks, so this should not be displaying. Okay, so something is not updating properly because the total block is basically is used here inside this fetch latest block. So we have to use this logic here actually, not in fetch latest block. So we have to do this logic here, and we have to also use this API here for getting the total block length. Okay, so I'm going to add couple of blocks in this application. So guys, I have added few more blocks before we perform delete operation again with the pagination. So let's click on next. So you can see that we have also tested this scenario as well. So this else if condition also we have tested, and we have one more block at the third page. Now I wanted to write one more condition inside this else if. So in case if you don't have block at third page, then I don't want it to display this previous and next button. So suppose overall we have a 10 block in our db.json file. So in that case I don't want it to display this both button, that is previous and next. I wanted to show only the previous button. So we need to write one more condition. So before we perform that delete operation, so let's write that condition. So here what I'm going to check, so total block minus data dot length is not equal to page limit, then only it will get display. Okay, so let's first go into the browser, refresh it, let's click on next. We got this previous and next because we have more block on the third page. Now let's delete this one, click OK. So block deleted successfully. Now we are on the first page. Now let's click on next. So now here you can see that we don't have the next button because we have a 10 block in our db.json file and we are showing 5 block per page. So we have also fixed that small issue in our pagination. So if you go back previous, this is working. Let's delete one more. So again it will get a start from the first page. Let's click on next. So we got this previous button only. So this is working. So guys, pagination is also completed in our application. Now we have one issue in our application. So if you search a blog, so let's suppose you are searching a tech blog. So we are getting this search result with this keyword tech. Okay, and if you clear out this one input field, so now we are getting no block found. So what is happening over here? So we need to go to the VS Code and in home.js file, why it's happening? So here on input change. So on input change basically handling the search input field. So here we are not passing the default initial value for our start, end and increase value. So here we have to also pass those default value like 0, 5, 0, the way we have passed in our use effect, if you remember here. So here we have passed our start, end and increase value. So likewise we have to also pass the value here as well. Okay, let's go into the browser, refresh this one. Now let's search again blog with the tag. Now let's click on this cross. So now we are getting back our all the block data that we have in our JSON file. So we have fixed this issue. So now we are going to work on other two pages, that is not found and about page. So I'm going to start with the not found page first. So if you give some random URL, so you will get not found, but I wanted to show one image here. Okay, so let's do that one. Let's go to notfound.js file, and here what we have to do. So here I'm just pasting one line of code. Okay, now let's go to the browser. Now here we are getting one beautiful image. If the URL is not match that we have in our app.js file, now we have to also work on this about page. So I'm just going to paste the content in the about.js file. So I'm just pasting the content for this about.js file, and we need to bring some component from MDB React UI Kit. MDB container and MDB typography. Let's give some margin top, margin top 100 pixel. You can give any you can give any content inside this about.js file. So let's go into the browser. So we are getting this one line of description about this application. So guys, we have implemented all the feature in this blogging application that I have showed you at the start of the video. So we have completed this blogging application with the help of React and JSON server, and with little bit help of the Cloudinary service. Okay, so I hope you have enjoyed building this application with me. So if you like my work, then please press the like button and subscribe this channel to get more awesome video on React.js concept. So I will see you in the next video. Till then, goodbye and take care.